Hello again. It is Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here in our studios in Concord, North Carolina. We have a great program coming up for you. Daryn Pittman and Jordan Goldsberry going to join us. I'm excited to talk to both of these guys. One we've talked to many, many times, and one we've not talked to before.
Yeah.
And both incredible stories to tell. So we're so glad you joined us. Erin, how are you?
I'm good. Very good.
Good. Very
Yourself?
good. Good, really good. You were at the President's Cup here in Charlotte, the golf tournament.
Yeah, it was our first time going to a golf tournament. You know, us racers, we only know racing.
Yeah,
we miss out on a
absolutely.
lot of cool opportunities because you're racing every weekend. So now we're getting to enjoy some of those things, and it was awesome. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, the logistics and the infrastructure they build for just one event is.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
I don't know. I don't know what to compare it to other than like a racing event, but it's almost like Formula One, the way they had all the hospitality and
Right.
suites set up, and it was first class.
That's cool. That is really, really cool. Absolutely neat stuff. I was at racing events, non-sprint car events. Saturday night was the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville. That's that big late model stock race. I am telling you, I love these stories of there's a racer from Danville, Virginia, Peyton Sellers. Very successful racer. He was the SRX guy at South Boston this year. Very successful race car driver. And if it's been done and won in late model stock racing, it's been done and won by Peyton Sellers, with the exception of Martinsville. And he's sponsored by a restaurant just down the street from the track, Clarence's Steakhouse.
Old Clarence's.
Exactly. Clarence's has been sponsoring cars. Clarence owned cars like in the 60s. And so this is like and this thing for 14 years was a nightmare for Peyton Sellers. And he had some good runs. He was not to be denied. It was a great, great race, and he got the win. And it's just one of those things, a great family team to finally check that one off. Yeah. And he said it's the Ridgeway Clock Company. The Martinsville Trophy is the Ridgeway Clock Company. Now, they're no longer made in Ridgeway, Virginia. They're made, I think, in Michigan through mergers and buyouts and everything. But the idea was that it was a local clock company that Clay Earls decided to be the trophy. He wanted a special trophy. So it's the Ridgeway Clock Company. And the address for Clarence's is Ridgeway, Virginia. And so the clock is staying in Ridgeway, the winning clock. But it was just, I love events that matter. That's why the Knoxville Nationals, I love, and I love Daytona 500 events.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the Daytona 500
staples.
event. It's the staples. Your sprint car career will be greatly enhanced with a Knoxville Nationals win. Your late model stock career will be greatly enhanced with a Martinsville win. Yeah. And Peyton Sellers had a career that virtually any other late model stock driver in America would want. And now he's got that one. Now he for sure has the career that everyone wants. So it was fun. I love that kind of racing. I love those racers because it's so different than sprint car racing in that, you know, most of them run one night a week and they're in the shop. They'll go back to the shop. They work on it where our guys are gypsies traveling around the country, our sprint car guys, but it's the same passion.
Yep.
And it's the same drive. And it's funny when I do a lot of these races, they're like, how do those World of Outlaw guys run 3 or 4 times a week? And it would be like, how do those late model stock guys run once a week?
Yeah.
You know, but the passion is the same, the mechanism of doing it. And then I came back on Sunday and did ZMAX Dragway.
Oh, fun.
And that's another one. The logistics of it are cool. Really, really neat with the teams, with all their hospitality chalets and everything. Really, really cool. It was a good day for, and we'll talk a little bit about this, but Brad Sweet's teammate, Ron Capps, Napa teammate, picked up the win.
He's having a good year.
Yeah, he is. Got to talk to our buddy Cruz Pedregon. Cruiser is one of our friends here on Wing Nation, and literally he was eliminated in the first round, and so I didn't expect, I don't know what drag racers do when they get eliminated in the first round.
Yeah.
I know what most racers do. They get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Later in the day, I'm walking around and there's Cruiser. I mean, and he had snap-on guests, and he's such a cool dude. He's just a good guy. And I think a veteran like that understands the ebbs and flows. It was a 600 race.
Wow.
So he's lost a whole lot more than he's won.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got
racing.
a great career. Yeah, it's racing. And so he was just hanging out there, and literally the first thing he says to me is, oh my God, did you see Brad Sweet and how he dominated that race last night, and this and that, and what's the story on Cap Henry losing his ride and everything?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
wow.
Cruiser is so into sprint car racing. I love getting a chance to talk to him. We didn't even, the fact that snap-on drag car was there wasn't even, I mean, like, finally I said to him, how are you? And the supply shortage has got a little piece of engine technology that he needs. Oh. And he's like, you can see it, you know it, and you can't get your hands on it. And we hear this from our sprint car guys and anybody in racing. Yeah. But I just feel, I left there after talking to Cruiser. I just like, man, that's the world's guys like Cruz Pentagon in the world is so good. It's such a passion, and he's all fired up about the Chili Bowl. He's got 2 cars ready to go. He still hasn't decided if he's driving the second one yet. You know, I mean, he just is. Gosh, it was so cool. I love events. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing. Whether it's the hanging out and
seeing things and talking to people.
There's been a lot of dialogue and a lot of discussion, and we're so fortunate with all of the wonderful pay-per-view options we have. And I just think it's great. But folks, nothing compares to being at events. You know, golf and hockey to me are the 2 most dramatic ones. You couldn't pay me to sit down and watch golf or hockey on TV. And I've been to a couple of golf things on TV.
Yeah, it's kind of hard on TV.
You take me now. If we're going to the state,
Charlotte
the
Checkers game.
I'm all in, man. Let's go Checkers. Yeah, that's right. Yes, Chubby Checker, my buddy.
Yeah, Kate loves her some Chubby Checker.
Who doesn't love Chubby Checker, our mascot? But live events and honestly, you know, TV, pay-per-view, radio, we collectively all do a nice job covering auto racing, but there is nothing.
I agree.
Nothing like being there.
I took Kate to a Davidson College soccer game the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah,
well,
she's starting to play soccer,
yeah.
and we live a half a mile from Davidson College right now, and it was like, all right, why not go show her what it's like to play in college? And she loved it. She asked a million questions, and I was like, and Ray was like, that was a really good idea, and I'm like, you got to expose them. It's one thing to see on a screen. It's another thing to see in person. Like, wow, that's really cool.
We live in a couch potato society, muchly so. And I encourage you, get out and do these things. Go do something else. I mean, when I was in college, I would go to Penn State wrestling matches, Penn State ice hockey matches. Penn State, I went to soccer and lacrosse
it's easy
games.
to just sit home and watch it on TV, but then you're like, all right, it's a half mile away. Like, let's go check it out in person.
You get an experience.
You get the concession stand. You get the beer.
Now she's talking. She said it, not me. Concession stand.
I did.
Exactly.
Hospitality. You got to get some mimosas at the golf game.
Yes, that a girl.
Yeah.
That a girl. I had Martinsville hot dogs. I know. They're a little different. They're not for everybody, but they are for me. So let's get into our Hefner Racing product hot topic. Central Pennsylvania, the Jim Nace Memorial Selinsgrove Speedway National Open. Anthony Macri, 3rd straight win in this event. There's only been 3 other drivers that have won 3 straight. Maynard Yinks, that's pretty good company to be with. Some guy named Fred Raymer did it 95 to 97, and Pat Cannon. Macri's 21st win of the season. Man, that kid is rolling. And the thing of it is that he started the season with Jim Shuttlesworth.
Yep.
Okay. And then Bernie comes in and does some races. And now Roach. Oh, for God's sake. That's the problem with nicknames. The nickname is far more.
I can't think of the name either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He does a podcast with Jeremy Elliott too. I mean, he's, but anyhow, he's kind of filling in as far as that goes. And so the thing of it is, we can talk about this guy had this guy. The common denominator is Anthony Macri. And so you give that cat a car and he's going to drive it to the front. Friday prelim winners, Darren Pittman. I already mentioned it. We're going to talk to him. Mike Hefner's number 27 car. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Friday night, Eldora. It was before the Crown Showdown. Rico Abreu, his 8th career win, but Erin had been 4 years in between.
I didn't realize that until I watched the race and they, mentioned it in Victory Lane afterwards. I didn't realize it.
I didn't realize that either.
It was a fun win to watch.
Fun win to watch, and I really like it. I really think the rebuild they have this year with Ricky Warner. But I think that shows sometimes how long things take. Is that, we were like, okay, Ricky and Rico, they're going to come right out of the box just throwing haymakers at everybody, and it just takes time to build a program. And but they got a little sense of it now. I think that they're going to be. I think they're going to be just fine. I like that. Saturday night Sharon Speedway, and this is what I referenced with Cruz Pedregon. Good Lord, Brad Sweet. My God. We have spent the last month saying, well, maybe this one, well, maybe that one, well. Yeah. No, you're not going to catch Brad Sweet.
No.
Fifth win of the season, 79th, okay? There's 9 races left to go. Erin, these numbers are ridiculous, okay? 22 races since Port Royal in July, and we're talking Peevely, we're talking Knoxville, we're talking out west to Skagit and California and back to Pennsylvania, including Williams Grove, which was in here. 22 races, 4 wins, 17 top 5 finishes. And 21, I have the number written here, 21 top 10 finishes. His other finish was 11. So since
no worse than 11.
No worse than 11 since July. You know, you think it's like we've sat here, and I know everyone wants a point battle to come down to the World Finals.
Yeah.
No, everyone doesn't. Brad Sweet doesn't want it. And they are making it so unless something drastically changes, it's not going to happen, folks. No. Because one night gravel will make some ground, and one night Carson, and one night this one, and one night this one. The problem of it is the next 3 nights they lose ground.
Yeah.
And collectively, they're objects in the windshield, that 49 car are getting further and further out from these guys. And he is rolling. And I know that he doesn't have the win tally that he would like to have, but boy, the consistency, the prep on that car. This is when you see numbers like that, this is not only a driver, but this is a shop, this is a team number.
Yep.
You know, I mean, they are knocking it out. And they're going to Williams Grove, which by the last time we were at Williams Grove, he won.
Yeah.
Insane. I love this. The team, and I mentioned this a little bit, the team left Sharon. They drove all night long. They were able to get to the ZMAX Dragway, and they got their picture made with a Wally, with Ron Capps. So Ron had mentioned somewhere in the prelims on there that Brad Sweet, their Napa team, Casey Kane Racing, was there. And I love when different forms of our sport get together and hang out. So neat stuff. But the big cat is rolling. Oh, my gosh, is he rolling. All-Star Circuit of Champions, they were the wing portion of the Four Crown. Tyler Courtney picked up his 7th win of the season. He had quite a dry spell. It was one since July since he last won.
For him, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time. Fremont next weekend wraps it up for the All-Stars. Sunshine needs to show up at the Sandusky County Fairgrounds, and he will clinch the championship. Other winners, makes my weekend. Friday night, Danny Smith picked up the win at Skyline Speedway. Love Danny Smith to death. And love seeing his smiling face in victory lane. This was spectacular. Williams Grove, Lance Deweese won again, his 967,000th win at Williams Grove, okay? Lance was not even part of the story.
Nope.
Danny Dietrich was rolling in this race, shredded a tire on lap 23. How bad was he rolling? He had lapped up to 7th place.
That's crazy.
Goes in, changes the tire, comes out in 7th, and in the final 2 laps, races to 3rd.
Impressive.
I mean, Lance, congratulations. Here's the trophy. Let's go talk to Danny, though.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, Danny Dietrich was the man, and he didn't get it. And I think Danny finished 2nd on Selinsgrove. Danny's tweet on Sunday was,
yeah. In the hot tub, something,
drinking in the hot tub. Didn't win this weekend, but I'm winning today, or something like that.
Well, and I got to give Dirt Vision a shout out. So we were watching the World of Outlaws at Eldora, and they did a split screen, and we got to watch all that happen at Williams Grove.
Really?
Yeah, quite fancy. So we got to catch it all.
I love that Dirt Vision does that. I
Me
really
too.
do love
It's really neat,
that.
Little
I think
simultaneous.
I think that their production of that stuff is really, really good.
It was really neat. They were under delay at Williams or at Eldora. They had the midgets there.
Right.
So they went, they still had like a split screen going on. It was neat.
Right.
Yeah, got
I
to see
love
it
that.
all.
That's really cool. Other winners, IRA. We talked to Dylan Cisney on our MAV TV show, our Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. He went out to Dodge County and won.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, Plymouth Dirt Track. Jake Newman won. Jordan Goldsberry is the champion. We're going to talk to him. And there was a race at Atomic Speedway, and guess who won?
Shocker!
Shocker. Cole Duncan won that as well. Hefner Racing product is the and they like to remind everyone that the absolute number one pit utility vehicle in sprint car and midget racing is a custom mule conversion from HRP. Erin, tell them all about it.
Well, it starts with a solid platform and dependable, great-looking Kawasaki mule, and it's customized and built to each customer's specifications. There's options like generator, air compressor, shock and radius rod racks, amazing toolboxes and drawers, LED lighting, walk-on roofs, and more.
No doubt about it. HRP mule conversion platforms outlast and maintain their value better than any other utility vehicle. HRP mules, raising the standard again in pit utility vehicles. www.hrpracing.com. Darren Pittman, he joins us next.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking.
Dirt Empire Magazine is the ultimate dirt track racing only magazine in the world, featuring interviews, opinions, event photos, tech, and 100% racing action. Each issue includes late models, modified sprint cars, and more. Big event photos from the best photographers in the sport, and great one-on-one interviews with the top drivers as well as grassroots racers. Pick up a copy of Dirt Empire Magazine today at select Tractor Supply stores or other area retailers, or get your subscription today at dirtempiremagazine.com.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strike. Let's go to the Sage Fruit Hotline. Fresh off from a trip to Victory Lane Friday night at the Big Half Mile in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. Daryn Pittman joins us. Hello, Daryn. How are you?
Hey, guys. How we doing? I'm good, and thanks for having me on.
No doubt about it. Daryn, it's got to be good to stand on the front stretch and wave a trophy and a flag over your head. Congratulations, especially with the situation with Mike Hefner and everything. That had to be a pretty cool win for you on Friday night.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of things that were really cool about it. I mean, anytime you get to Victory Lane, it's great. But, to be, to do it with Mike there, and at his last weekend promoting Selinsgrove. I was excited to go back to Selinsgrove. I hadn't been in 10 years, and it was, really one of my more, favorite tracks in Pennsylvania when I raced there, from 2009 to 2012. And so we had Cale Kane come in to help us as well, and, trying to get ready for National Open. So just a lot of things that, were really cool that, made the win a little bit more special, maybe more than normal.
Daryn, what is it like for you to now go back and race just part-time occasionally? What is that like for you without that pressure of doing it all the time? Or is there a little bit of, I don't want to say nervousness, but you're not in the seat every weekend. What is that like? Obviously, it's working for you, but what is it like as a driver to not have the pressure of full-time racing?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. There's no doubt that, my mentality and nerves are definitely a little different. I mean, like I said, you don't do it all the time. And so the more you do it, just more comfortable. And, but the feel still is the same as far as, once you're out there and you're racing, if your car's good, man, it's a lot of fun. And if it's not, then you're just, you're trying to figure out how do we make it better? What do we do to improve? And, that can wear on you pretty hard when you are struggling a little bit. But, really once I just got back in driving for Mike, it's just been a really good fit and a comfortable situation that I think just fits my schedule and, the team that he's got. And it's just been, kind of like coming back to a second home. I've been there. This is my third time I've been there. And he's just always surrounded by really good people. And so I enjoy that, and that's helped me a lot as far as just doing it part-time and trying to find that balance of expecting and wanting to win, and then just trying to manage those expectations as far as to what we're actually capable of doing on the limited number of times that we've been on the track.
What's it? You were posse, you were not posse, you were outlaw. What's Darren Pittman? What's the reception now going back in Mike Hefner's car? What's it been like this past month up there in Central PA?
It's been good. I love that the whole rivalry side of things, and trust me, when I was there every week, they booed me as much as anybody and wanted me to leave. And then when I left, then they adopted me. It seemed like then. I've never really gotten much into it. Everybody asks, what am I? I'm a sprint car racer, always have been. Whatever anybody else wants to call me, that's kind of up to them. But the reception's always been great. Obviously, just the iconic 27 car, and obviously the history that I had there before, and then obviously the history that Greg had in that car, and the impact that he left in our sport with in that car as well. The fans are passionate about it, and it's a great thing. So we've been welcomed. A lot of people are really glad to just see me back in the car for sure.
Absolutely. Darren, how did it come about to get Cale working on your car? I know you guys have had a great relationship. You worked well together in the past. How did it come about to get him wrenching on your car again?
Well, we kind of just reverted back to 2 years ago, when I was getting ready to, call it quits and hang it up, and, kind of the way that whole season came to an end. And when I decided to leave the Roth team and go drive for Mike, the whole reason that even worked, and the moving factor behind that was because Cale wanted to come out on the road and finish up some races with me. And his schedule is really busy through the summer, and this is always right at the end of his season where they're doing paving. So honestly, when I was looking at making a change and doing something different, he was a big part of that. And I knew that he had told me he had interest in coming back and trying to win the National Open and race, only a couple of weekends. And so, this was kind of always in the works from the time that, I left the 39 to come back in the 27. And so it's just a lot of fun to go race with people that, you're friends with, that believe in you, and that you can go and have fun with, regardless whether or not you're competing for a win or wherever you may be running. But, his expectations are high as well as mine. And he just, he can't race full time, same as me. But, when he does go race, I know that I'm better when he's there, and we just feed off each other really well.
Neat stuff. That is for sure. You've talked a little bit, and you've talked at length over the course of time about your relationship, your friendship, your respect that you have for Mike Hefner. That number 27 car, Darren, obviously you had a lot of success in it, and then Greg took it to levels that was one of the cars in the country. And then Mike's gone through some racers and tried to figure it out and tried to sort it out with crew guys and everything like this. Has to be rewarding for you personally to get Mike's 27 car back to victory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know how much of a competitor he is and how much he wants to win. And, I don't know they had been struggling for results. And so, I mean, it's great to be able to put it back, I think, where, it needs to be. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't working out for him, in some situations that they've been in since Greg left, or, since we lost Greg. But, it's, like I said, it was fun. My car was really kind of unknown when I got into it, back in 2009, and, felt like we sort of, gave it some identity, after, really Shawn Michael kind of started running it. A few other people did as well, but, like you said, just Greg took it to another level and another level of success that, it's obviously Mike's goal, but it's everybody's goal. You just want to carry on that legacy and keep it, at a level that, he was performing at, and Ben, the main crew guy that's on the team, that he's been there. He was working with Greg on that car, the year that, that he passed away. And so it's special to him for sure to, he was ready to quit racing. I know after that, as well as I know it probably crossed the minds of quite a few of the crew guys. And so for us to go back and run and be competitive at Knoxville and come back to PA and be as good as we've been the last couple of weeks, I know it means a lot to him as well.
That's really cool. Darren, I know the last 2 times we've talked to you, you've talked about the adjustment of coming off the road full time. So I saw Mandy's post on social media after your win on Friday. How has it been? I know Mandy was having a little bit tougher time adjusting to life off the road. How has that adjustment been going, and how neat is it for your girls to continue to see you, in victory lane?
Well, they don't like seeing me in victory lane. They're still mad at me when I do race and go fly and leave them here. So that part hasn't gotten any easier. Mandy is going to go with me this weekend, and so I think they're even more mad that we're both going and they have to stay back. But plane tickets are expensive right now, so we're not buying 4 of them unless I have to. So, but it's taken some adjusting, as we still are. But I mean, they love life here in Texas, and they're busy with their own stuff with school and outside of school between soccer and gymnastics and horse lessons, and they're really gotten busy with the stuff that they've never been able to do because we were, on the road traveling and never home long enough for them to, kind of settle into some of that stuff. So they're happy with that. But no doubt when they do see racing and see me leave, I get a little bit of pushback from them on why I'm leaving and why they can't go.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Final question for you, Darren. Ultra Shield, how are things going with the business? We chatted with you when you were taking it over. We've chatted with you in the early phases, but now you're a couple-year-old business owner. How are things going?
Yeah, it's good. We're busy. There's obviously mistakes we made along the way and things we'd love to take back, but I don't see that'll ever change. Whether or not it's year 1, year 10, or year 20. All we can do is show up every day and try to make the best decisions we can. But things are great. Really happy with the momentum that we've got on, several of our products between our seats and our seat belts as well. Just the interest that we've been getting and been able to get people to switch over from, companies they've been using for a lot of years is very rewarding. And it's fun. I really enjoy being a fan and being a fan of my customers. And I didn't realize that I could get so much satisfaction out of seeing somebody win, in my seats or in my belt. But, it is a different aspect to look at it from, and one that I've enjoyed more than, or one that I didn't realize I would enjoy as much as I have. So, like I said, it's busy and a challenge every single day, and every day is a new challenge, but it's one that I look forward to. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I really am. Satisfaction and enjoying things are so important in every facet of life. And I know you would enjoy taking some money home out of Williams-Grove this weekend. We certainly wish you the best at the National Open this weekend with that number 27 car. And who knows, maybe we'll talk to you next week if things go really well for you. But we appreciate you joining us here today. No problem. We're definitely looking forward to it. It's, probably one of the highlights of my year is going to the National Open. I love that event. It's just been a lot of fun for a lot of years and been close to winning it. And, I know one thing for sure, we have no chance to win if I don't show up. So we'll go and see what happens and, see if we can't try to pull off a little bit of an upset. That would be awesome. Absolutely. Thanks, Darren. No problem. Thanks for having me on. There we go. Darren Pittman joining us here on the Sage Fruit Hotline. Love chatting with Darren Pittman. Always have enjoyed our visits, that's for sure. We need to step away. When we come back, the IRA bumper-to-bumper sprint car champion, Jordan Goldsberry, he joins us next. Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing Lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing, and they support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. On orders of $20 or more, use promo code MRN for free shipping. You can check them out at www.circlebdiecast.com.
Power isn't born, It's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Just like racing components, Aggressive Hydraulics purpose-builds hydraulic cylinders to perform for customer-specific applications. They design and manufacture mobile-style, single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Hydraulic solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. They proudly design and manufacture all cylinders in the United States. Check out the video of their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Sage Fruit is a premium grower presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength. Let's go back to the Sage Fruit hotline. We had some fun during the break because our new producer, the new kid, Craig Moore, the rookie. We dialed up Jordan Goldsberry, and then Craig mashed the button and disconnected on him, and now he, I believe, has him dialed back up. Joining us on the Sage Fruit hotline is Jordan Goldsberry. Hello, Jordan. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We are doing fantastic. Congratulations. I can't imagine what it means to you, your family, on winning the IRA championship. It has to be a neat time of your life right now.
Yeah, I guess because I'm talking to you guys, I must have done something right. But no, it feels great. There's a lot of great names who have won the championship over the years, and I never thought it was realistic for us to do it because we live 4 to 6 hours from most all the IRA shows, but everything worked out this year, and weather worked out to where it made it to where we could run them all, and it's just, like I said, it's a great feeling.
Jordan, talk a little bit about your team. It seems like a family operation. I believe it's with your dad. But even going through your social media, you mentioned your wife and your daughter. Just talk about, it seems like a real family effort.
Yeah, for sure. We just, like a lot of people, we do it for fun. We work Monday through Friday. We own a landscaping company here in Illinois. So, but the only person that, I've never been to a race without Dad, so he's there for all of them. And my wife comes as much as she can with our 4-year-old daughter. So definitely a family deal. And that just makes it that much more special.
Was there a point in the season, Jordan, where you started to think, and I know you guys wrestle with the travel distance and everything, was there a point in the season where you started to think that this might be possible to get this championship?
Yeah, kind of one of the bigger hurdles for us with our landscaping company and our nursery is Mother's Day weekend. So, usually we don't race that weekend, but it was actually a closer race on the Saturday of that weekend, so we were able to race that. And then, at that point, most of them were pretty easy. And like I said, usually you're just kind of up in the air when we're sitting at home at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning and they're showing nothing but rain all night, it's kind of hard to just pack up and leave. But, we just kind of got committed to it and decided that's what we were going to do. And the rain didn't bite us much. I think we all got pretty lucky most of the year and got most of the shows in.
Jordan, what is your background in racing? I know you've been in racing, I think it says, for 15 or so years. How did you get started, and when did you start racing with the IRA?
So I started racing quarter midgets when I was 6, which that's been 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But I started racing sprint cars in 2007. So we started with the Sprint Invaders there in Iowa, and ran with them for a few years, and then just did a lot of hit and miss 360 and 410 stuff in the Midwest after that. Started racing with the IRA probably 2012-ish, and we were just real part-time. We'd go up maybe 6 or 8
shows a year, and then the last couple years we ran about 80% of them. So this was the first year that we actually ran them all. But we really enjoy racing with the IRA. They run at a bunch of different tracks, a good variety of different tracks, and it's just a really great group of people to race with.
No doubt, man. What Steve Sinclair does up there is phenomenal. It really, truly is, and goes from there. Now, I also saw this year, IRA was kind of your primary gig, but you did make it to Knoxville a few times. What was the process going into the year as figuring out what you wanted to do beyond the IRA? Was it to try to get more seat time down there?
Yeah, so we went to Knoxville for 4 weekly shows, and then we did the Nationals, and we just enjoy going to Knoxville and getting the seat time there and kind of the exposure for our sponsors, but anytime the IRA is off, we tried to get to Knoxville, and it happened to be 4 shows this year, so there's nothing else like running there, that's for sure.
Jordan, it seems like you have a nice balance of you've got your business and racing, obviously full-time running for points, thrown in some Knoxville races. Is there a goal of hoping to run more, or you kind of like the balance you have?
I don't. So we ran 35 shows this year, and with holding a full-time job, as well as everyone else that works on our car and helps with it, I think that's about the most we could do, really. We're debating on going out to Lakeside with the Outlaws here in a couple weeks, but we just kind of run ragged, all season, run an IRA and the few other places we went. I think that's a good amount of shows for us to do, and I'm not sure that we could do a whole lot more and keep everything going at home as well.
You mentioned some of your sponsors, your partners, Rockstar Energy Drink. I see a couple of weeks ago, one of our mutual friends, Wade Onger, brought some methanol moonshine and some Rockstar Energy Drink, and you guys actually shot a video together. Had to be neat. You guys were in an airplane hangar somewhere or something. That had to be a pretty neat experience to do that video presentation with our buddy Wade.
Yeah, so we met Wade at the Nationals actually this year, and he just came up and was talking how he liked the looks of our car and everything like that. So things just we just started talking, and he decided, he wanted to come down by us and do kind of a photo shoot and some videos, and we had a really good time, really fun. I think everything turned out nice. Rockstar Energy's this is year 2 with them. So they've been a big help to our team. We definitely couldn't do what we're doing without them. We're still a small team, but it's a huge help to have support from a great company like that.
I am sure it is, and I thought that was neat. Fun stuff, that's for sure. Well, Jordan, I'm telling you what, I was so happy to see that you won that championship. I know you've been toiling away there. And I'm also happy that I read online, this is your preliminary interview because you get with Chatty Matty tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do. So that ought to be a fun time. Maddie, she does a lot for the IRA series up there with all the social media stuff and everything. So that ought to be a good time tonight. Man,
someday I hope I can get on Chatty Matty's show. I love her. She just is so neat. I met her, I think, at Beaver Dam, Wilmot. I think I met her, and she just is so full of energy and life, and such a passionate young lady that's into it. And I saw that you were going to be on there. I said, well, good. We'll get Wing Nation as a warm-up act for you to get onto the real show tonight with Chatty Matty. So if you get a chance, folks, tune out, find Chatty Matty. She is great. She does a great job and really does a lot of neat stuff for you guys up there with the IRA in that area. Jordan, congratulations. We appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
There we go. Jordan Goldsberry, another one of the great racers. I think that's the fun part about this, Erin, is wherever you go, wherever sprint cars are raced, you run into these neat family stories like Jordan that are just passionate about sprint car racing. And
and they make it work for their schedule and their business. And
35 races and keeping the kids juggled and everyone happy. I never thought about that with a nursery, but Mother's Day weekend has got to be brutal in the nursery business.
Yeah.
Because you think everybody is planting.
Ready to go.
Putting stuff in the ground. And so it's fascinating. Really cool stuff. Appreciate Jordan, and congratulations on that as well. On that championship as well. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment. Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
I'd like to remind you that Flow Racing is the ultimate digital home track for race fans everywhere. That's right. You can subscribe today and stream over 1,300 racing events live and on demand. Flow Racing has something for everyone, like the NASCAR Weekly Series, sprint car racing, drag racing, off-road racing, and so much more. Learn more at www.flowracing.com/GoMRN. That's flowracing.com/GoMRN. One of our favorite places on the planet is one sprint car place in Knoxville, Iowa. It is the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The birthday calendar is one of the things that we do. Earlier this week, Bruce Brahm Jr., Steve Butler, Lanny Edwards would have had a birthday yesterday, Ralph Morgan, Vern Flip Fritsch. Later on, Don Brown, Mike Nazarek. Today also the birthday of Maynard Hungry Clark. But today also would have been the birthday of 2011 inductee W.W. Bowen. He is an inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. W.W. Bowen was born in 1895 in What Cheer, Iowa. Never heard of that town.
Never either.
Never heard of that town. In the 20s, he loved and he assisted the local fair promoters with their IMCA races. In 1926, he founded Bowen and Only in San Antonio, Texas. And what they did, Erin, is they ran outlaw shows at county fairs. And when you think about the history of open wheel sprint car racing, county fairs were where it was at.
Yeah. All those fairgrounds.
Yes, absolutely. They started the first year, they did Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. The racers loved racing for W.W. Bowen because the local racers felt like they got a fair shake against the national racers. This thing exploded. They went races all the way from Mississippi to the Rocky Mountains, all the way up to Canada.
Wow.
And they grew. In 1931, it was called Bowen Company of Auto Races. And if you know anything about American history, 1930s, the Great Depression ultimately put them out of business. Did some promoting in the 1940s, but worked as a projectionist at a movie theater in Springview, Nebraska. Passed away in 1965, but forever enshrined as the 2011 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, W.W. Bowen. So I love, it takes so many aspects of it, and that era would have been neat. The county fair era would have been neat.
Yeah, really.
Coming in one night, there's a horse show. The next night, there's demolition derby. The next night, there's sprint car racing. Maybe the's a concert, but the sprint car
some
racing.
Some of those, like way back when at the board tracks.
Yeah, could you imagine what that? No, I mean, crazy stuff. Really neat stuff. And it's guys like Bowen that really drove the growth of the sport. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, they have their 14th annual sprint car raffle. It's a Triple X Moyle chassis. Tickets are $20 each. 6 for $100. The drawing is December 16th. You can go to sprintcarraffle.com, sprintcarraffle.com, Erin, they've got a tribute to Ascot, and you also can become a supporting member as well to the Hall of Fame.
You can. It's only $25, and you get free admission to the museum and 10% discount on museum store merchandise, which I happen to love.
Oh, love that. Exactly. Great stuff. Sprint Car Hall of Fame. All right. So racing, we don't have to wait till this weekend. Tonight, the High Limits Racing Series, the Sheldon Hodenshields Buckeye Brawl, Wayne County Speedway, Orville, Ohio, $32,022 to win. It's on Flow Racing, and it's going to be big. They've got a nice field of cars.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, that's going to be good. Talked to my friend Kendra, though. She said, if you're going to the racetrack, bundle up. Bundle up. It's going to be cold, but you need to go to the racetrack. Don't let this be the warning not to go. Go to the racetrack. I wonder if Sheldon's going to sell any souvenirs there.
Probably not.
Probably
Not in Ohio,
Sheldon
not at Wayne
would
County.
never sell souvenirs at Wayne County. Go to the racetrack and buy a Sheldon sweatshirt. That's what
And
you
a
need to
beanie.
do. And a beanie. That's right. Keep Zan and everybody happy there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Pella, more important, keep Pella happy.
Seriously.
That's it. Exactly. This weekend, 2 biggies. The 6th annual National Open at Williams Grove. Erin, here we go again. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars versus the Pennsylvania Posse.
Yep.
Friday night, prelim night, $10,000 to win. Saturday night, $75,000 to win. Boy, the party has I looked at social media. The party has already begun. Up there.
Of course it has. And yeah, I see a chili cook-off.
Oh, can you imagine how good that would be? Can
You
you
know,
imagine?
National Open weather is perfect chili weather.
Chilly weather, no doubt about
Always
it.
perfect.
Fireworks, the big party,
Yeah.
everything else. Last year's race winner was Carson Macedo. When we look at the World of Outlaws this year, mixed bag at Williams Grove. Rain won the prelim on the Morgan Cup. The Morgan Cup was won by Brent Marks. July, the Summer Nationals, Lance Deweese made it 2-1 Posse, but when the big money was on the line, the big cat was rolling into victory lane for his first career Williams Grove win. So this rivalry is best when it's at where it's at right now.
When it's balanced.
Right, it's balanced. I think a year or two ago, it was really tipping in the favor of the Outlaws, but the Posse has said, oh, no, you don't. And I just think that you don't have to look any further back than Friday night. The way Danny Dietrich ran, Danny Dietrich gets that car rolling like that, and it's a matter of who gets second.
Absolutely.
I mean, the way that car was rolling. And Danny has not been one of the big ones we've talked about with Macri and Marks.
Brent Marks.
And then obviously Lance there, that guy. I mean,
He's won a few races there.
He's won a few races there. While that is going on, it is going to be a weird weekend in Little Rock. Short Track Nationals, 35th Annual Comp Cam Short Track Nationals. They've actually added a night to this, the Ralph Henson Tribute Race on Thursday night. This was rained out a couple of weeks ago, so they've added a night to it, which gives everyone another night on the racetrack. Friday night prelim, Short Track Nationals, $15,000 to win, $1,000 to start. This race has such a rich history. 1988, Steve Kinzer won the first one, first of 3. Other winners, Sammy Swindell, Christopher Bell, Paul McMahon, Brad Sweet, Jason Myers, Jason Johnson, Gary Wright, Jason Sides. And really, when you look at the current ASCS drivers, boy, they've had a lot of success there as well. Blake Hahn is a 3-time and defending winner. Sam Haferteep won it in 2020. Now, Tim Crawley and Wayne Johnson have won it, but it was a few years ago. It was a minute. 1998.
1990s.
90s for Crawley and Wayne Johnson. Why I say it's going to be an interesting weekend, they've not announced anything, but they're not denying anything either. This may very well be the last one at Little Rock. Wayne Johnson, we had him on last week, and he said maybe someone can take the race and take it somewhere else, and we hope that. But man, last year I went out there to Little Rock, and then getting this news, and the Short Track National's been a bucket list race and can't make it work this year, and unfortunately it might be one of those that never gets checked off if all that you're reading is true, that the track is in the process of being sold for non-racing use. If you're in the vicinity, you just must go, because that is the most incredible little dirt track on the planet. And I love it. Just sits right there along the highway. And it's just, you drive by and you just, it reeks of badass. You know, I mean, it just does. And it is, if this is it, and it, like I said, there's been all speculation and nobody is denying it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I just, Oh, and I think Wednesday night, Tim Crawley's breaking out the karaoke machine.
Oh, boy.
I saw that Tim Crawley's breaking out the karaoke machine, so that in itself ought to get you there. But the short track nationals, we'll see who etches their name on it, and who knows. But if you're in the vicinity, you must go. You just got to go. And if it turns out to be the last one, well, it'll be a good one, that's for sure. You can count on that. Selinsgrove and other news, it was just announced, I think, this morning. And Darren referenced this. Mike Hefner's been part of the promotional team at Selinsgrove, and they have opted not to renew their agreement there. Yeah. Stephanie Baker is taking it over, and I think they've signed like a 10-year lease, is what I've read. Stephanie, they've been such passionate sprint car people there, and I did a quick search, and I don't know. All I really know is her and her family, and they have a huge heart and passion for sprint car racing. And so there's a lot of it that'll be out this week in Area Auto Racing News up there, Lenny Salmon's paper. So we're here for Selinsgrove. We just want to. It's such a weird spot in the central Pennsylvania landscape. It's just in a weird spot in the central Pennsylvania, but it's such a rich part of that. Yeah. And I just want to be sitting here in about 2 years and say, man, what Stephanie Baker and her family has done there has been awesome. And I don't know what that looks like. I think that weird spot is you don't know what it looks like because it's in that weird spot. Yeah. I wish Stephanie and their crew the absolute best. Maybe they can sort through the maze up there and find that spot for Selinsgrove. So we wish that family the best as they take over operations. Saturday night was the last go around for the former promotional team, and they're already digging, making the announcement here on Tuesday. Let's giddy up and go. So fingers crossed. I hope it works out well. So there you have it. So got to keep these racetracks around. Got to keep them going for sure. Wing Nation will be very busy on social media all weekend long, Twitter, Facebook, our YouTube page. You can shop Wing Nation gear at www.shopwingnation.com. Shopwingnation.com. They make lovely, lovely Christmas gifts, folks. Lovely Christmas gifts. And you can get them at Tom Book's merchandise trailer, Justin Peck's merchandise trailer with Tom Book Motorsports. This weekend on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, Big Daddy Chris Windham joins us. We did the interview yesterday. Man, love talking to Chris Windham, another one of those guys that has made the transition, and been good days and bad days and going half mad days, but they seem to be making progress, and they're all upright and good, and it was fun talking to Big Daddy, to Chris Windham. And neat stuff for sure. So that you can catch that on Wednesday night on Rev TV and Friday, Saturday on MAV. Love chatting with Daryn Pittman and love getting introduced to Jordan Goldsberry. Yeah. Both. Really fun. Great show. That is for sure. So we'll see what happens with it. Those of you in the Southeast, hunker down, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Not sure what we're all dealing with this hurricane rolling through, but it looks like it's going to dump some water on us, if not a whole lot more. So we wish everyone the best as we work through this time of year again. Here we go again, and wish everyone the best as well. Again, we appreciate Daryn Pittman and Daryn Pittman and Jordan Goldsberry for joining us. More important, though, than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.